Okay, for today's vocabulary, number one is equity crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is kind of a relatively new phenomenon, maybe in the last 10 years, where people have decided to collect money online just by asking for donations. Equity crowdfunding is nearly the same thing, except people are being offered securities in companies through their investment. So normal crowdfunding is you just donate money. Equity crowdfunding is when you are trying to get some kind of share out of it. Mm-hmm. Number two, financial meltdown. Anything that has the word meltdown. Meltdown is a word that means something just collapsed or just really, really went bad. You can have a meltdown like your attitude. If you had a meltdown, you just like, you have a really bad day and you're just shouting and screaming and crying at the same time. That's called a meltdown. A financial meltdown, obviously, if you combine the word financial with meltdown, then you have some very horrible things happening in the economy or in the markets. Of course, we always talk about the financial crisis of 2008. That is the most biggest example for a financial meltdown. Number three, a venture capitalist. So to capitalize on something is to try to gain from it, maybe make some money off of it. And a venture is when you're trying to basically, you put a little bit of money and risk into starting up some kind of enterprise or business. So a venture capitalist is a person who is trying to find something to put some money into and gain something back. Looking for a way to make money by putting some money into it. Number four, think outside the box is a very common idiom that I think most people know. And it's just trying to think of something that is not normal. Trying to be very original and creative and new. Number five, test the waters. This is a great idiom to use. Testing your waters or testing someone's waters is like to see how things are working. And when you're testing waters, you're just trying something out. So you are just kind of like, you have this idea. So you're testing the waters. So you try this idea a little bit on a certain amount of people. If it goes well, then you just go completely forward with the idea. And then number six, when you dub something, that means you give something a name. So if you give your friend a nickname, like if you say that, my friend's really crazy, so we dubbed him Crazy Guy, something like that. You just dub someone, as in like you give someone a name. Or if you name something. And it's, the example in here is pretty good. You just saw it is dubbed the South Korea's MC of the nation, right? So it's kind of like you give something a title or a nickname. Yeah. And it's actually a very old-fashioned way of saying like someone's called this. So if you see like an old movie from like old England or like a very old English literature book, and like they're naming the knight, the old knights of the Round Table, and when they knight them, they will give them like an official name, and instead of saying like your name is, they say I dubbed the, like I'm giving you this name. So it's actually a very old word.